You don't know if you're depressed or just tired of everything. It's hard to tell the difference anymore. You can still laugh, can still joke around and smile. You can still act like everything is fine. Pretend to be normal, but the second you're alone, it's like everything drops. The mask, the energy, the whole performance that you hide behind. And people still believe you're okay, because why wouldn't they? You've gotten so good at pretending, you're not even sure if you know yourself anymore. You feel surrounded by people, but somehow still feel completely alone, because none of them actually see you. Like, everyone sees the version of yourself you only let them see, the specifically curated version of you, just so no one could say they hated you. The version of you who's fine, the one who's strong, the version of you that doesn't take up space, the you who never makes things awkward by being honest about how you feel. But no one ever actually sees you, and the few people who did, they never stayed long, because they had finally had their perfect perception, perfect image of you was broken. They finally saw the awkward, tired, and confused version of you that you're embarrassed of. Maybe you were too much. Maybe you weren't good enough. Maybe you pushed them away. You don't even know. You just know that they're gone. They left you after they realized how broken you truly felt. And you hate how much it hurts to see them leave, to think about them leaving. When you're finally alone, everything hits you all at once. The emptiness, the heaviness, the loneliness, all of these feelings that never seem to go away. The thoughts that fill your head with, what's wrong with me? You feel guilty, like you're this two-faced mask that is smiling all day and then breaking down the moment no one sees you. You fake a smile in front of others, but then fall apart the moment the door closes behind you. You feel like two different people, and neither of them feels real. It makes you feel weak when you cry, even though you know crying doesn't mean weakness. It just makes you, and means you're human, but somehow that doesn't make it easier. At night, everything gets worse. Not because you're scared of the dark, it's because of what comes with it. The silence feels so loud. Your thoughts feel too heavy. Everything you thought you shoved down during the day comes back louder than ever. And suddenly you're lying there awake at night, wondering if anyone has truly cared about you, or if you're just fooling yourself because of the alternative. It hurts too much to think about. The idea, the fact that maybe you were right, no one cares about you, that you were right all along. It's the thoughts that you never wanted to touch, but it keeps touching you. The darkness makes you feel like you're both drowning and breathing at the same time. The feeling of being swallowed whole as your thoughts run circles around in your mind. You wonder how someone can feel both so empty and overwhelmed at the same time, but somehow you do. You fall asleep at night crying, not because you wanted pity or attention, but because you genuinely don't know what else to do with how you're feeling. There's so much you want to say. You wish you had someone to talk to. But then when you actually talk about it, they think you're too much. The words never come out right anyways, so what's the point? So you just keep everything inside until you feel like you're going to crack. You swallow your feelings and words until they burn a hole in your throat. You're scared of people seeing the parts of yourself you've tried so hard to hide. The sadness, the fear, the mess that you are. You're scared that they'll think that you're dramatic, clingy, or even broken. But you're even more scared of the fact that they might just leave like everyone else did before them. And then there's this numbness you feel after keeping everything hidden for so long. The feeling no one talks about or likes to admit because it's not dramatic or loud like everything else is. It just sits there in the background and in your mind like static. Some days you don't feel angry or sad or overwhelmed for once. You just feel nothing, and at first it feels like a break. It feels good. Peaceful, maybe even great. But then it starts to feel like someone unplugged you from your own life and forgot to plug you back in. And suddenly the numbness feels worse than the sadness, because at least when you were sad, you felt alive. It meant you were feeling something. But the numbness stays because you've kept everything inside for so long. What used to feel peaceful becomes another layer in how broken you feel. It's like watching your life from the outside, like you're the background character in your own story. You go through the motions, you wake up, get ready, you talk, and laugh, and smile. But none of it feels real. It's like you're on autopilot, doing everything you're supposed to do without truly being there. The numbness is suffocating, not like the suffocating feeling of sadness or loneliness. The numbness is quieter in its own way, less noticeable because you're still going through the motions of the days. It's sitting in a room full of people but feeling nothing. It's hearing someone say they care about you, they love you, but you feel nothing. You feel like you want to cry, but not being able to. It's wanting to scream, but not having the energy to. The emptiness makes you start to wonder if you're even capable of feeling anything anymore. And that thought is terrifying, but even that feeling is so muted by your numbness. It feels like it's happening behind a wall. But sometimes you miss yourself, not the version you let everyone see, but the real version of yourself that you remember, whoever that even is. You miss feeling things fully, miss caring about things without being completely exhausted. You miss being able to tell the difference between being tired and being done. But the numbness doesn't care. It just sits there like a weight on your chest, a weight you can't seem to shake off. It's the feeling of liking being alone, but hating feeling lonely. But somehow it makes you feel like those two very different feelings, those two opposite feelings, feel like they are the same thing. And the numbness just tells you, whispers to you, oh well, never mind. And then there are those moments. You not only feel numb, but you also feel disconnected, like your mind and your body aren't even on the same team anymore. You're there, but not really there. You're doing things, saying things, moving through the motions of the day, but it all feels distant, like you're watching someone else live your life from behind a window. Sometimes you catch yourself zoning out so hard you forget what you have been doing. You blink and suddenly half the day is gone. You were on autopilot the whole day. It feels like your brain hits a switch and decides, yeah, we aren't doing this right now, and just checks out. And then you're left there afterwards, feeling like a stranger in your own skin. You hear people talking to you, but it feels like their voices are coming from underwater. You see your hands, your body moving, but they stopped feeling like your own. You laugh at a joke, but it feels like someone else is laughing for you. The worst part is how normal this feeling has started to feel normal. How you get used to the feeling of drifting in and out of yourself, like it's just part of your routine, part of your day to day. How you start believing this feeling is your real self. You start feeling like a ghost in your own life, always present but never actually there, alive but never fully, existing but not connected to anything around you. And you don't tell anyone, because how do you even explain something like that? How do you tell someone that you went from feeling numb to feeling like you weren't even real, without sounding dramatic or broken? So you kept it to yourself again, just another secret added to your pile. And so the feeling of not being real just becomes another layer, another quiet layer, another invisible thing you carry around, while everyone else thinks you're fine. Maybe that's the part that hurts the most. The fact that you're carrying around all these secrets about yourself, quietly hoping that someone will notice without you having to say a word. You keep moving, keep breathing, keep existing, even when it feels like you're barely holding on. Maybe you don't have everything figured out yet. Maybe you don't know exactly what you're feeling or why you're feeling it, but you're still here. You're still trying even if it doesn't feel like it. That still counts for something. You just take a breath, wipe your face, and keep going, because what else can you do? You whisper to yourself, I'm fine. It's fine. I'm okay. Even when you're not. The abyss of this world keeps spinning, the games keep running, and you keep walking forward, one step at a time. Even if all you can manage to say at the end of it is, oh well, never mind. Things aren't perfect right now. Maybe we are all still figuring stuff out, still carrying more than anyone realized. But you're still learning, still growing. You're surviving things that you once believed would break you. And on the days you feel empty or lost, you're still here. And that means there's still a chance for things to get better. Maybe not all at once, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. So take a breath, steady yourself, and keep going. I am so proud of you. Somewhere out there, there's a version of your life where you will feel better, safer, and more understood. You can't see it yet, but you're already walking towards it. One step at a time, one day at a time. And for now, that is enough.